What's up, guys? This is Styles right here, and I'm starting a new podcast today with my brother. Um, I just there was some things I wanted to talk about. Some strange things that's happening in the world and stuff. And this podcast. I'm just going to tell the truth. Of how I feel, what I believe to be true, and what I know to be true. So I'm gonna touch on some things. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna be talking about God. I'm gonna be talking about aliens. I'm gonna be talking about all that. I'm gonna be talking about all the strange events that's happening in the world. I'm talking about everything, man. Um, I'm gonna talk about everything. I may not be able to get everything in this podcast, but I'm gonna talk about just about everything. This is a fresh podcast, so I'm not don't even expect quality. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have a good mic. I don't expect quality, but I'm gonna build it up. I'm gonna build it up until where I can get something proper. Um, Definitely, the first thing I want to talk about lately. Some of you may already know about it, but there's some things that's been going around the world called booms. And what it is a flash of light, almost like lightning or whatever it is, and a very loud boom will go behind it. It sounds like lightning, but this is more like powerful. It's more powerful than lightning. Like this thing, like lightning can rattle your house. Thunder, the sound of thunder, that can rattle your house. But this is doing more than rattling your house. It's like they saying it's equivalent to an earthquake. It's making things rock. Like yeah, things will fall off your shelf. And people been experiencing this on the West Coast, and then this stuff been moving on down to the East Coast. So now the East Coast is experiencing this stuff, and a lot of people are asking their authorities, the sheriff's office or whatever, to look into it. I'm gonna be real. There's nothing the sheriff can do about that. The sheriff cannot look into something that's supernatural. You can't look into stuff like that. That's weird stuff. You can't. They could try to investigate it, but what is he gonna do about it? They can't do nothing about it. Y'all don't know what it is. He don't know what it is. He's no higher than what you are. You know, he only could do but so much. But a lot of people are really attacking their local authorities and with aggression, like, yo, y'all better figure out what this is, because I pay y'all to protect us. Listen, that he's a man just like you. Alright? He gets scared like you get scared. He knows just what you know. If he can find out what it is, great. But the thing is, nobody knows what this is right now. And this is like just some of the things that's just happening. Like before that, they was having the sounds. Remember the mysterious sounds that people was hearing all over the world? Yeah, yeah. So, people didn't know what that was. People thought it was HARP. The weather, the little weather, man-made weather device. And I'm gonna break down HARP one day too. Because I don't believe that HARP exists. I believe HARP. There was an attempt to make HARP. I believe there was an attempt to make HARP. But say like I could have a small living room, and they may have made a device that could create a storm about the size of your living room. But they can't make a storm to go over the states. Now a lot of people believe like, oh, this is HARP right? This is HARP. No, HARP cannot overpower the power of God. The natural is much more stronger than man-made technology. When something in the natural happens, it's going to happen.
That's it.
And HARP ain't going to control it. Alright, there's a bunch of storms that went down that we ain't seen no HARP control that. HARP can't control that. There's a bunch of storms that went down that, okay, we need to get HARP on this. It's crazy. Some of these snowstorms we had, we needed HARP. Alright, and HARP didn't show up.
My thing
Alright?
If there was such thing as a HARP, then this whole climate system thing, it shouldn't even be a worry in nobody's mind. But that just shows you right there, there is no HARP.
Right.
There is no heart. I mean, nobody's going to change the climate, the way the world is going, the temperature and stuff. That's just man-made pollution. That's you destroying the earth, and now you're getting the bad side effects of it. There's no machine created that's going to change that into something else.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we jumping, and you know this like I said, this is a new podcast. You know we testing our waters to see what direction we're going in here, and how we gonna start doing things. But so right now we're just talking. But I hear what you were saying about man-made pollution in the sky. It reminded me of something. There was a time where Prince went on a talk show. I forgot whose talk show he was on. But Prince, when he was talking about, remember the planes that leave the chemical trails in the sky?
The cloud?
Yeah, back in the days, we used to look up in the air. We used to like, yo, you see that plane leaving?
Yeah.
And we used to love seeing that.
Yeah,
Didn't know what it was, you know? And then you always find them over the ghettos.
Yeah.
You always find them going from the ghetto all the way down to up the block.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Prince, and Prince was like, you see these chemtrails, and then later on, you don't even know why you angry. He was like, you don't even know why you angry. But he said if you think about it, with the chemical trails, they was more than likely running tests on them. And to be honest with you, it may not have been like run tests on black people.
Yeah.
No, we run a test on the whole. Like we gonna see how this affects everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and
I can believe that.
Yeah, Prince was talking about that stuff. Now I never knew anything about. I knew that after a while those were chemical planes.
Yeah.
We didn't know what they were before, but after a while we found out that those were chemical planes. We don't even see them in the sky anymore. I think I seen one years ago, like in the early 2000s. I seen maybe like one.
Yeah.
And then after that, I never seen none again. Like I don't see blimps. I don't see those.
I don't see that.
I don't see it no more. I'm not too sure about all that, you know. So I mean, this is what Prince was saying.
The singer?
Yeah, the singer Prince, the one who died. This is what Prince was saying, because Prince was a conspiracy theorist too.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he was on it. Prince was on it. You know, you gotta watch some of his stuff. He was on it.
I never thought
There's a couple of people that's on it that you don't know. You know, you got Dan Aykroyd, Prince.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, even Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson didn't say much. Even Michael Jackson was on it. A lot of these people, a lot of people was on it. Like some of these people who talk about. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I don't know nothing about the Illuminati.
Yeah.
But whatever part the Illuminati, whatever the Illuminati associates with, I'm gonna straight up tell you it's all demonic.
Yeah,
It's all demonic.
Well, right in the same category.
Do they have the influence over you that people say they do? No. I'm gonna explain that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we have a living God.
Yeah.
So it's all up to you. You make that decision. Satan don't have influence on you, nor does the Illuminati. So if Satan doesn't have influence over you, then the Illuminati doesn't have influence over you. It's all what you give them.
Exactly.
You give into the Illuminati. Illuminati's not taking you. You give into. They can influence you, but you can get up out of there. It's your choice. You don't have to. It's not. Listen, it's optional.
Yeah.
I ain't never had the Illuminatis come up to me and say anything.
I don't even know.
And I know people that say they was part of the Illuminati. We got that stuff all up the street.
The Masons Lodge.
Yeah, we got all that up the street, man. I just lost the light again. But we got all that stuff up the street. So I mean, like, I don't want to hear that. Once the Illuminati get over you, no, stop. Come on, come on. You give in to the Illuminati.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You giving in to it because you got a living God that's stronger than everybody.
Yeah.
So that's on you. And if the Illuminati did get to you and threaten you about something, don't give in, even if it cost you your life.
There's been people that they did a documentary on that they were a part of it, and they were some type of demonic occult, and they got out of it. Yeah. And they said why they got out of it. Yeah. You know, it wasn't right. It wasn't right.
And some of these people do get kill. But listen, in Luke it talks about how man can kill the body, but he can't kill your soul. And this is Jesus talking too.
Yeah.
And then Jesus goes to say, but be afraid of the one who can kill the body and the soul, which is the Father.
Yeah.
So don't worry about if they kill your body. Your soul's still here. Because you know who you got to talk to after you die? Alright. So listen, don't worry about that. And to tell you the truth, I believe that you could be rose from the dead.
Yeah.
So if God is if God want to bring you back to life, I'm going to say just like this. For the unbelievers, if God want to raise you from the dead, he's going to raise you from the dead.
That's what it is. That's it.
On the fourth day.
Yeah.
Not the third day, on the fourth day, when your body starts rotting.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say it just like that for the unbelievers, you know. And I believe that it's all. If God wants you to live, he's gonna keep you alive. You know, some things happen for a reason. Sometimes he lets you go, but it's all in his will. There's a reason to everything. There's a reason why some people died of cancer. There's a reason to why people die from AIDS. There's a reason why innocent people get shot. There's a reason to it.
Yeah.
But it's all in his will. He let it happen for a reason.
Yeah.
He let it happen for a reason. And we don't understand, we can't fathom the thoughts of God.
Yeah.
So some people be questioning God, well, if he's God, why he's letting this happen? Because of sin in the world.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not for you to question God. It's are you gonna give him your heart and follow him?
Yeah.
You know. So I'm gonna keep that real. I know we got a jumpy podcast, but we just starting out. We just starting out because when I do the next one, I'm gonna be a little more organized. But we just you know, testing the waters. Like I said, you know, we just testing the waters and seeing where we could go with this and who will tune in or whatever. But you know, these are some of the things we're gonna be talking about here. You know.
You know what I was thinking. Hey, you speaking of the, you know, end of the world. I was thinking of this. If you see, let me put it like this. If you look at now, today, obviously you can see there's a whole lot more issues in this world than what you have ever seen in, let me go back to 1999. There's a lot more issues going on in this world now. It's so funny, and I want to say this, that years ago, you would talk so much trash about homosexuals, but now it's a whole different story. It's almost like something like that's just almost like out of a sci-fi movie. What you thought wouldn't be is the future, but you know it's from the lack of knowledge, like you said earlier. From those when you don't, it's like when you don't focus on what God is talking about, you will forget that as you're going forth in the future, what is actually happening. So when you hear people preaching the word and saying, you know, God said this would happen, you might say to that person that's preaching it, you've been saying this for years, but you haven't been hearing it for years. You only hear it now because you remember it once or twice that you heard it back in your time. But in your time, you still wasn't a believer or you didn't listen. But now when you hear it now, and it's like, well, these are things that was going to happen anyway. You know, the world changes. Yeah, just like people say, history repeats itself. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how many things repeat itself or how many times people say nothing's new under the sun. Let me tell you something. There is a prophecy that is coming to pass, whether if you want to call it old or new, it's coming to pass. And most people can't see it because they choose to stay blind. They choose to stay stuck. And I look at it like this. This right here is all new. And at the same time, it's old.
Right.
Why do I say that? Because you had Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
But at the same time, you haven't seen it in your time like this. But Sodom and Gomorrah, I don't know what they was doing to their bodies. But you haven't seen it like this in your time. I would have never thought that I would have lived to a day to see men that could actually change themselves into a woman. And people get mad at a preacher for preaching. And it was like back in the days, you wouldn't even, like Pastor Rogers used to say, you wouldn't even smoke a cigarette in front of a pastor. You'd be so quick, and you didn't even have to believe in that faith. It was just the respect. There was more respect then than there is now. And then, like, you know, I might be jumping off the topic.
No,
you know,
no, no.
But it's, you know, there was more respect than what it is now, and then it goes into it. This all builds into your hallucination of your reality.
Right.
And as you go forth in life, you're going to start to realize, if you ever realize, if you just stop to take a second, just think about a few things that may sound ridiculous to yourself, that maybe that pastor on the corner that was preaching like a madman wasn't so mad. Maybe he wasn't that crazy. Maybe your mom telling you that, hey, you need to get your life right before something happens, and you may not like where your life is going. Oh, well, I can handle it. It wasn't the fact that you can handle it, but do you like it?
Right.
And now you're saying I'm okay with it, so I guess you'll be okay with a whole lot of other things too. Listen, if a mosquito bit me today and had the West Nile virus or whatever virus is now in these bugs, I don't know, would I be upset? Yeah, I'd be upset. Or then I could just shake it off and say, you know, hey, it is what it is. Life goes on. But at the end of the day, it's what you conform your mind to. And I believe this is all being built into a hallucination that everything is going to soon be accepted for what it is, that you're not going to be able to see the truth any more than what you did back in the past. And what people that of the right mind has tried to tell you and give you instruction is now just like... So all of this, what you said about the Illuminati's and the heart system and all of that, I just believe that I don't care what it is, what kind of wickedness is in this world, it's all about who are you going to be.
Right.
And it changes, believe it or not. One person can make a big difference, even if it's just that one person reaching out to another person, and it just may be one person, but that one person can change that one person that may have a family.
Right.
And then that structure can be built into that family. And then you don't know how that family can reach other people. But there's not enough of that teaching going around. So then you're constantly going forward in the world that's just being built off of ridiculous stuff, sensitive people, massive bullying and shooting in schools, and homosexuality, and nobody knows what to believe no more.
Yeah.
And I think this, and it almost, and you would try to relate it back to the Christian religion and say, you guys are crazy.
Right.
No, we're not crazy. It's just that you didn't understand.
Right. Well, shoot, back then they thought the prophets were mad too.
Yeah, they
So
sure did. Yeah,
they thought the prophets was mad too.
yeah,
Until it came to pass.
exactly,
You know?
exactly.
It is what it is. Like, I know I'm not gonna say it is what it is. But here and there's people have, I would say this, the United States has pushed God so far away that they are led to believe in whatever they're doing, you know. So if they have, and you know what? There's a scripture that talks about that, and I believe that's in Peter. I don't know if it's 1 Peter or 2 Peter, but there's a scripture that talks about that. I gotta get it right. That God, that they're gonna be led to believe. God is gonna let them believe in whatever they're doing. He's gonna let them go, and you're gonna believe in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's the thing is, you know what? And I got something else that's coming up too. There's something else I want to follow up with this. Let's talk. I want to talk about black people. And if it's not obvious, but I'm black, but I'm still gonna talk about black people, cause this is we got an issue.
Yeah.
We have an issue when it comes down to God. We have an issue.
Yeah.
Back then, you can't. When there was a rapper getting an award on TV, they was thanking God. They was thanking God. You know. But nowadays, they pushing God away. They disrespecting God like crazy.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. They don't realize. And we jumping. Like I said, we jumping. We just flowing. We just jumping around.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is the influence that Satan has on them.
Yeah.
Especially the black community. They don't realize the influence that Satan has on them. I'll give you an example. I was talking to somebody one day, and they was like, "Nah, I don't believe in Jesus. That's the white man's Jesus." Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, no,
All right.
yeah.
Here you go. See, what I don't care what complexion Jesus is, from brown to light skin.
Yeah.
I don't care what he is. But I believe in Jesus, and God said, if you don't, come and test me.
Yeah.
He said, come and try me. God tells you clearly, he says, come, you don't believe, come and try me to find out how real I am. And I tell this to people all the time. If you don't believe in God, I said, try him right here.
Yeah.
I challenge you to try God right now, right here, to find out if he's real.
Yep.
He said it himself.
He
So,
can prove himself.
yeah, he can prove himself. He don't need me to prove that he's real.
Yeah.
If he wants to, he'll come to you, and he's telling you, come to me and see.
Yep.
As an individual, one-on-one, man to God.
Yeah. Man to man.
Not man to man, man to God, man to your creator. Come try me, alright? And that's the thing, see, black people, I'm gonna be real. They are so into what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with rapping, but the type of rap you do.
Yeah.
The carnality
Yeah.
that's going on in black culture, the twerking and the sex and the drugs, the money. Now, I will say this. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it clearly. I'm not going to blame all that on the black man, because some of that was pushed into the community.
Yeah.
Some of that was pushed into the community. Because every time the black man built up, it was torn down.
Yeah.
And I will say that. Well, it was. It was. But the thing is that the black man gave up the fight. And I'm not going to say, even some of the problem is because the innocent fathers was being locked up, killed. And what ended up happening is that the kids was walking astray. But there were strong mothers that were strong enough to be a mother and a father.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that act, and some of them are the ones that I'm gonna be real, that serve God. The ones that serve God, God gave them that strength. He gave them that strength. But the new ones that's coming up now, they being influenced by these other religions. Like yo, I don't believe in God. I believe in the energy.
Yeah.
The universe.
Yeah.
The universe.
You
I'm
like,
like, okay, I'm like, what is this energy? I'm like, what is it doing for you? I don't know.
Yeah.
But all I know is the energy. I'm like, okay. I'm like, let me tell you about God. I want to hear about the white man's God. I'm like, it's not the white man's God. I'm like, I said, this is a God for all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This God has been here before this was even created.
Yeah.
So I was like, God said, I am Alpha and Omega.
Yeah.
And he was just here. I was just here. You know what I'm saying? Like, something had to be here before all of this, because there was no Big Bang that created anything. There's no way that all of this is perfect from a Big Bang. There's no way in the world that all of this is perfect. And this is leading on to my next topic. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get it together. And what it is like, you know, but it seemed like black people are so far gone. But that's not all of us. There's still enough of us to pull it together, but a lot of them is just giving in. And what you gotta do is you gotta pray for them. Yeah. You gotta, the ones that have God left in them, they gotta pray. Yeah. We gotta pray for our race. Yeah. Because we're falling apart. We're falling apart because we allow Satan to knock us off. Some of them are so scarred from what happened in the past. Like, you know, it's wild. Like, but you gotta break that barrier. You gotta break that bondage. Because now you're just holding yourself in bondage. There's always gonna be hatred. There's always gonna be somebody that hates you. But the thing is how can you move on? That's not every white man. Not every white man in America hates you. Shoot, I watched one of these protests and there was more white people fighting for black people than I seen black people fighting for. You know what I'm saying? On the front line, fighting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that was some crazy stuff right there. And you know, and then, you know, speaking of that, you know, this is where I wanted to roll into, you know, and then we're gonna start tying this up. I'm gonna give you your last days, and we're gonna tie this up because I want to talk about ufologists. Now, for those who don't know what a ufologist is, that's a UFOologist. That's a UFO. Somebody that has an expertise in UFO studies. So with ufologists, there's two sides of a ufologist. You got ufologists that say there's not a God, and then you got ufologists that say there's a God and there's something out there.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got that in between ufologist that's like, I believe there's a God and I believe there's something out there, but I'm not too sure what's going on. But I do believe in God, but I know there's aliens, you know? You got that type of ufologist. So let me say there's like three types of ufologists that I know of. There may be more. But one thing I know about a ufologist would not, I don't put them in the atheist category.
Yeah.
A ufologist would tell you that they would not rely or become an atheist to help their studies. Okay, because there was a time where ufologists was wondering how can they get this word out here, and they said, well, if we give it to the government, they just gonna keep the information for themselves. If we give it to the news, they just gonna report on it one good time and they gonna move on to the next thing. If we give it to an atheist, they just angry. They just angry. It's just they just out there to destroy God. You know what I mean? They just angry. That's an issue right there. That's a problem. You know, so they cut them completely out. So they was like, we have to, as ourselves, as a community, not to fight with each other. Even if we have our disbeliefs. Like, I may not believe in God, but I still respect your theories.
Yeah.
I still respect your beliefs. So, as ufologists, it's up to us to bring the truth to what's going on with these UFO sightings and these alien abductions. So, there's a struggle between ufologists right now with ufology, or should I say ufologists? There's a struggle between ufologists right now, and between God and His existence and the existence of extraterrestrial life and on other planets. Now, clearly, we know there's plenty of other planets. They said there's at least, I think they said about 13 billion other Earths in our system alone. 13 billion or 3 billions. I don't have the numbers right, but it's in the billions of planets that's similar to the planet Earth that can sustain life. Alright? If you look up in the air at night and you look at all the stars there, oh, that's a lot of stars. That's a lot of stars. You ain't counting all that. You're not counting all that. So these people got footage of unidentified flying objects, other beings, skeletal systems that they can't identify. But the thing is, they don't have solid facts of what it is. And I'm going to say this. Me and you have seen an orb ourselves.
Yeah.
We seen an orb in Richmond, Virginia. We seen it more than one time. We have an older brother who's seen it on multiple occasions. He's seen 3 or 4 orbs making a triangle formation. Arizona Lights, they tried to keep that undercover for so long, but it was happening so much in Arizona that eventually it made the media, and they had a 2-hour premiere of live footage on Fox every time they came into the sky. They had a breaking news on Fox TV.
Yeah.
They had to do it because it was too public. Those things was too public. Now, does that denounce the existence of God? No. And some ufologists believe that it's demonic and angelic activity that we're looking at.
Yeah.
And they call that extra dimensional beings. Alright? There's a guy who is an expert at tracking these orbs. And he has a show on Netflix. Well, it's not a show. He got like a documentary on Netflix. And it's called Curse of the Man. I think what's it called? Curse of the Man with the UFOs or something like that.
Oh,
I gotta get that.
Yeah.
I don't have the name right, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
But if you type that in, it'll pop up. So you'll see what I'm talking about. But he has such a unique way of spotting them even in the daytime. You know, these orbs. But the thing is, when we seen our orb, when we seen the orb that we seen, like I was looking in the air, and I seen this thing coming down from out of the sky, and I'm like, yo, sad, look. I was like, it's a falling star. You know, I thought it was a falling star. Yeah, and that thing was falling to tree level. Now everybody was there, you know, cousin Barbara, Frank, Marianne, all of us was there. And I'm glad cousin Barbara was there because she was the oldest and she confirmed that. That thing stopped at tree level and turned back around and went back up into the sky. Yeah. Yeah, you seen something. And I was a believer from there, but something came to me. Like something hit me like, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And I knew then that I wasn't looking at something that everybody else was looking at. When people seen it, they said aliens. When I seen it, I was like, nah, this is something else.
You know what's so funny about that? When I seen it, first of all, it didn't look like at first I thought it was a plane. Yeah. Because it was coming out of the air at an angle.
Right.
And then I'm saying, oh, it's a shooting star. And then that's what we started thinking. Then we said meteor. And then I didn't even know Frank and them was behind us.
Right.
And then when I saw it, I said to you, I didn't say anything, but I started to think, maybe I'm hallucinating because this thing looked like it's slowing down. And then it was going down and then it stopped. Like it wasn't slow down and then slowly, it did come to a stop. It slowed down and it came to a stop right there over the tree. And it stopped. And it said, right back up in the air.
Yeah.
And
that was crazy.
It was just one of those things, like she said, one of those things you just can't do nothing about.
Yeah, you can't do nothing about it. But something hit me with like, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that was the spirit. Yeah. That was the spirit, because I was scared. Yeah. And I still went outside that night. We still stayed outside of them. Yeah. Like whatever that was, that had something to do with God. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I wasn't afraid. And that place is treasy. Yeah. The light level was low.
There was no light.
There was no. We didn't have no level 9 light level. We was in Amelia, Virginia, on a dirt road. So it's nothing but trees and darkness. There's no lights out there, so you see every star in the sky. Yeah. It was crazy. But I'm gonna tell you right now. We gonna tie up this podcast. By the time I put this on YouTube, it's gonna be something light. I had to record this on my PS4. Something was wrong with our editor. Something is wrong with the Sony Vegas and everything on our laptop. So, and my PC broke. So I'm trying to get all this stuff back up again. But I just wanted to toss something up there, And then I want to try to do this every week if I can. But if y'all don't mind, I'm just gonna give y'all something to look at as I upload this. Being that
Before you shut this down,
yeah,
I want to say this.
Okay.
Now, what's been happening lately is, not just just straight off topic of what we're about to do, but what's been happening lately is something that I wanted to touch topic on that is very sensitive. Now, we know there's a lot of crime and stuff going on in the world. I've been hearing, I haven't seen on the news, but I've been hearing, and I had to look it up, that a lot of hangings were taking place. A lot of hangings of black people, young men, and some older men. I don't care if you was young, old, I don't care. The fact is, there should not be that much hatred in somebody's heart that they feel like that person needs to be hung. Like that girl that was in that room. I don't know how they got her in that room, but I watched the video on how they beat her in her face, punched her real hard, knocked her out, peed on her, put the noose around her neck, and then hung her from the ceiling. In my mind, I'm saying, what kind of destructive mindset do you have? What makes you that angry that you have to demonstrate so much a level of hatred? For somebody to be that angry, that's Sataning. After that, let me tell you something. There's no reason why you should hate somebody because of their skin color. There's no reason why you should hate somebody because they sound different or their heads are shaped funny. It's no reason why that level of hatred even exists in a human being. God did not create people to have hatred in them like that. Listen, and I know that a lot of people, everybody's upset about something. If somebody ain't upset about financial issues, they're upset about homosexuality. If they're not upset about homosexuality, they're upset about the government. If they're not upset about the government, they're upset about the immigration. It's always something that you're going to be upset about. But one thing I want to tell you something is that there should not be that much hatred. And we should not be manipulating the love of God to compromise with our flesh. So at the same time, you can't say that God is love and he loves those that go out and do what they want to do with their bodies or want to worship Satan, a statue. You know God is against sin. And even the cartoons taught you that back in the days, that when you see the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, you knew that when Tom was listening to that angel, yeah, don't eat that mouse, don't kill him, don't chop him up and put him in that stew. You know that's wrong. But what did Tom do? He lent the ear to the devil because that's what he wanted to do. But let me tell you something. The more you fill your heart with this, just imagine a world with hatred. There's no more good. Nobody is left on this earth, but everybody hates everybody with an extreme amount of passion. Imagine what kind of world this would be. Let me tell you something. I'm black, and I love Spanish, Asian, white. It doesn't matter who you are. It should be no level of hatred. It should be all love. What is wrong with society today that we have to sit here and judge one another because of a skin color? Listen, even when it comes down, and I'm gonna make this clear when I say it this way. When it comes down to homosexuality, I don't hate the person. I disagree with their ways. But you can disagree with my ways, but you don't see me killing that person. Not with my mouth and not with my hands. And that's the thing. It's like we don't know how to demonstrate or level things out. And this is what I feel in my heart. Going right back to the schools. Why there's so much is the schools imitate the world. And what is in the world? There's more sin than there is God. And this is what it's all coming to me. And what God said, if the love of the Father is not in you, right, then if the love of the world is in you, then the love of the Father is not in you. Right. So if there's no love for God in the schools, what is in the schools? Yeah. So now the school is the children, right? Right. And what does it imitate now? The world. The world. So imagine what the world is teaching the school. And soon the school is going to teach the world a new sin. Yeah. And now I'm telling you that this hatred, whatever it is, I suggest if you see a person that you don't like, turn the other way. Think to yourself real hard to why you don't like that person. Seriously. Because there shouldn't be that much violence in the world. There shouldn't be no violence like that in the world. If you hate somebody, figure out in yourself, what is it in me that doesn't like this person? What is it? No, seriously, really think about it. What is it in me that's causing me to say, yo, I don't like you. I want to kill you. Did you get your feelings hurt? Did somebody say something to you? Or was it programmed in your mind over time? Then you just start to look at things from a different perspective and you say, well, my mom used to not go this way because of this, and now I'm just seeing it like this now, and you know what? You people are a problem. You're a problem. Yeah. And now I see why my mom never went this way. Really think for a second. Just think for a second. Even if that was the case, what is bringing up that level of hatred in you? Yeah. What is bringing up that? It has to be something more deeper in you that is you're pulling out yourself. That's just only been there. It's been taught. It's been entertained so much that now it's just bringing it out itself. Now you're bringing it out. It's like you're forcing it to come out on a whole nother level. Right. And I just ask everybody that if you have a hatred towards somebody, forgive them and forget about it. Just forgive and forget about it. If you can't deal with that person no more, forgive them, get it right the best way you can, and just stop dealing with the person. But don't go to a level of hatred that you're causing the person to kill themselves, or you're doing something damaging to that person. It shouldn't be like that. And that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I'm glad you cut me off for that, because that was good. That was a good topic.
Yeah.
That was a good topic right there. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So this is what our podcast is going to be consistent of. This is the things we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna say it just like this. I'm here to offend, but I'm here to offend in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring some understanding to certain things, and just make you think. Every time you hear this podcast, you're gonna hear God, and you're gonna hear Jesus' name. But we're gonna be talking about some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Some are gonna be a little touchy and sensitive, and some some things you're just gonna enjoy hearing.
Yeah.
So like I said, this is a new podcast right here. We testing it out. I was explaining my technical situation over here. I'm working on it. It's probably going to take me a couple months to build up, to get new PC, new mics and everything. Because I got an air mic right now. My mic is picking up all air with the foam on it. So I'm doing this with my PS4, which, I'm glad I have the PS4 that allowed me to do this. And I know a lot of you guys don't like Destiny 2 at the moment. I'm just a Destiny fan. I was a fan of Destiny, and I don't like the current state of Destiny 2, but that's what I'm playing right now, and that's the footage I'm going to put up there for you to watch. So, if you're offended by that, I'm sorry. But that's what I'm going to put up there for you to watch while we're listening to this podcast, alright? While you're listening to this podcast, okay? I'm going to end it right here. I thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what you hear, subscribe. Hit the like button, so when you hit the like button, it allows other people to see what you were watching, so if you could do that favor for me or for us, thank you. And I'm gonna end this podcast. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys later.